So loop style resistance bands are some of the most versatile resistance bands on the market. They're also the strongest resistance bands that you can buy on the market. They go from 5 pounds all the way up to over 500 pounds. And they're so versatile because you can train with them in a variety of mechanisms. You can anchor them to something, you can fold them in half, you can use them with only your own body as an anchor. They're just so versatile that they work really well. But the problem with that is that there's so much versatility, it could often be hard to set up or uncomfortable. So now I'm going to take you through a couple of exercises to show you what I'm talking about. So let's take a chest fly for example. I'm going to grab this band with my hand and I'm going to do a few reps of chest flies. Single arm, coming around. And what I'm noticing here is that there's a lot of pinching and pulling in my hand. I'm just doing a warm up here and I'm already getting a lot of pinching in my hand. As I'm repping this out, another thing that's going on, you can see this band is moving around, it's hitting my arm, it's rubbing on my skin, it's uncomfortable. So if I were to do, 10, 12 reps for 3 to 4 sets of this, the weak point is not going to be the muscles that I'm exercising. It's going to be my hands and my skin because I just can't get a comfortable setup. So in addition to the hand pain and the limb rubbing, there's another common issue with these bands is trying to get an effective length for an exercise. Take for instance, a bicep curl. So if I wanted to do a bicep curl with a loop band, I have to set it up different than this because obviously there's no tension at the bottom of the rep. And when I get here, I'm pretty much halfway, 3/4 of the way through my bicep curl. So, I could grab it further down like this and do a curl, but then I'm getting all sorts of awkward wrist torque and other forces. And once again, my hand is the limiting factor. I can also take it, across my feet, step on it here. And now I have a pretty decently effective length, right? But if I was to set up, a 2-arm bicep curl or something of that fashion, there's gonna be a lot of setup involved here. So how do we eliminate the pain points that I just talked about with resistance band training? Well, it's obvious that, you could put some kind of an attachment on here, and it's probably also pretty obvious that there's handles on the market already. For instance, these are probably 2 of the most common. You have your standard, cable machine attachment webbing handle, or you have this cool hook looking handle that's, looks really strong and durable. But what I'm gonna show you is that these don't completely solve all the problems. So let's go back to our chest fly example. So if I hook this up, I've taken away the hand pain point, but if I go and do a fly, it's still in my arm. It's not as bad as it was, but there's still issues, especially like say I was gonna do a chest press here. You're still gonna see issues where the bands are gonna come into contact. Another issue, obviously I can show the same exercise to you with this other handle. You still get the same issue, right? The band is here, it's pulling in the way of the rep that you're gonna do. Another thing that these handles do is they add a lot of length to the system. For instance, say I wanted to do a deadlift. So I hook my, fancy Amazon handles onto my band and I go to step on it to do a deadlift. Well, lo and behold, I don't get any tension until I'm halfway up in this deadlift. Same thing goes with the chest press. If I wanted to do a chest press, I don't have any resistance. So at Clench Fitness, we decided to step it up a notch, and we designed the Clench Band Handle from the ground up to solve all of the issues and then provide even more versatility on top of that. So the Clench Band Handle. This handle was designed by Clench Fitness. You cannot get it anywhere else, and it is the most versatile and comfortable resistance band training handle on the market for loop style bands. It'll work with pretty much any 41-inch loop style bands. And let me show you these exercises again. So we have a few different attachment points. The first attachment point is on this outer ear. So you just slap your band in. There's no carabiners to clip onto or anything like that. But immediately, look at what it does. It takes the band and it spreads it apart so that it's not going to get into my limbs. Also, by spreading this band apart, it is actually taking up length. So it is subtracting length from the system to help you get a better, more effective range of motion, or at least be able to fine tune it for the exercises that you're doing. So if I do this chest fly, you can see a lot more clearance around my arms. It's not rubbing on me. It's also comfortable in my hand. And then as an added bonus, it's super easy to stack multiple bands on this. So say I wanted to switch resistance now. I just finished my first set. I can jump up to the black band, jump right into my second set, start repping it, and say I want to stack bands. I only have a black and a red band. Well, look at, I can stack them both together on this handle very easily to start doing it. Now that's pretty heavy. Still rep it out, and it's comfortable. It's not hurting my hands. I can focus on the muscles that I'm training on. All right, the next issue that we solve with the handle is the issue of the length. So now we go back to that same bicep curl demonstration. I don't have enough length here. Well, I have these cool ears that I can just wrap my band around and take up length until I get to the appropriate resistance level that I want. Bam, taking up length. And now it's nice, easy, it's compact, and I can do reps and take up length. Another feature that we packed into this tiny little handle is the center attachment point. So if I want to change my training up a little bit more, and I want to do something where I have the band in the center of the handle, well, it hooks right in here, and I could do different reps with it. So you can fit up to a 1-inch band in the middle, and if I wanted to change up the variation or just put the band in a little bit different position in my hand or relation in my wrist to make it more comfortable, I can do that. You can't do that with any other handles. Furthermore, we've also designed in a third attachment point. I'm going to use this anchor as a demonstration. So say I wanted to do some kind of tricep extension or something where my grip is vertical. Well, you can't do that with any of these other handles. If I tried to grab this vertically, you know, it's going to get caught up on my hand and it's not going to work very well. Here, it's designed to be like a dumbbell. So you grab a hold of this thing, hook the band right around the end just like that, and you can do vertical grip, neutral grip type exercises. But wait, there's more. Not only do you get 3 unique attachment points, a way to make everything comfortable in your hands, and also a way to spread the band away from your limbs, all of those things cannot be done with the existing products on the market. We also designed in the ability to store your 41-inch loop resistance bands right on your handle. So it conveniently wraps up your bands, makes them nice and convenient. Also, say you got a 13-inch mini band, same thing, stores right on here. Doesn't matter. You can have a nice, compact, traveling solution. All right, so now you're telling me, well, this stupid little piece of plastic junk is gonna break or fall apart or whatever the case may be. That could not be further from the truth. We have a dedicated team of engineers at Clench Fitness that have designed and tested this using a very strong and durable automotive grade plastic. Yes, it feels extremely light, and that's because it is, but it's also extremely durable. I know you might be thinking, man, this thing feels super strong. The steel is the way to go. But let me ask you this. Say you were hanging on to this handle and you accidentally let go of it. Well, you just created a 2-pound projectile that can fly across the gym or wherever you're at and cause havoc and destruction. With a nice little handle, that's gonna do a lot less damage. Also, I'm gonna show you that this handle is more than capable of holding at least 150 pounds, if not more. All right, so I got a scale here. I got 200 pounds of weights, and we're gonna lift this clench band handle right off the ground. You can clearly see we're at 206 pounds. This thing is barely moving. I can jump on it. I can pull on it. It barely moves. Yeah, it's flexing a little bit, but it's designed to bend and not break. So now if I let it down, goes right back to normal, and I can continue using my clench band handle. So now, let's go Mythbusters and see how much weight we can really put on this thing. All right, so now we've added one more deep dish 100-pound plate to this thing. We're gonna lift this off the ground, and I'm gonna show you how much weight the clench band handle can hold. All right, so we now have 306 pounds firmly off the floor. Yeah, it makes a little bit of noise. That's just the anchor straps moving around on the handle. But ultimately, this thing isn't going anywhere. 300 pounds. We rate it to 150 because our lawyers told us we need to. But ultimately, with this much kind of weight, even if we only go to 200 pounds per handle, that's a 400-pound bench press. That's a 400-pound deadlift. You have nothing to worry about as long as you don't do anything silly with these handles. So this is a lot of weight for one rep, but what about 100,000 reps or 1,000,000 reps? This thing might see that in the course of a handful of years in the field. We've tested that as well. We've hooked this thing up to testing apparatus that would load this thing up to 150 pounds and just do nothing but reps all day long. And we've tested this thing to well over 100,000 reps. And now that we've been in the field for a handful of years, I would say that that's probably closer to 1,000,000 reps at this point in time. Again, we've spent a lot of time selecting this. This is not just your average plastic material coming from China. This is a USA made product. It is built to last. It's built to take a beating. And you can see here, we have no issues. It bends, it does not break. So let's let it down. So now I can happily take this thing off. You can see it is still in one piece. There is no issues with this handle. I can take this back into the gym. I'm already here, and I'm gonna go do a workout with it. All right, so we just showed you all the features, all the durability of the clench band handle. Now you may be thinking, boy, that sounds great, but this thing looks like it could be complicated to use or set up. Well, it's really not, because I showed you a bunch of exercises that are very easy to set up. But even still, we have a complete library of exercise videos, workouts, and how-to. There's over 60 some videos and growing continuously on how to use these products, how to come up with new and creative ways, because yeah, the versatility is also a downfall. There's so many different things you can do with this that it's hard to understand it. So we try to mitigate that by giving you a big library of ideas and things to do so that you can get the most out of this equipment. All right, so in closing, the Clench Band Handle, the most versatile loop style resistance band training handle on the market. It has 3 attachment points. It has ears on it that spread the band away from your arms. It is comfortable to hang on to. It's easily adjustable length for your bands. And it also can hang on to a pile of weight. You don't have to worry about this thing. Furthermore, I want to say that we typically recommend using this with clench resistance bands because that is what we designed them for. Our resistance bands are premium, and those two paired together will give you the longest lasting fitness equipment system on the market. But this handle will work well with almost any 41-inch or loop style bands that are on the market. So even if you already have bands and you just need to go into the next realm of training, grab yourself a set of band handles and you won't be disappointed.